So Mick, you and I have debated quite a bit about the meaning of DevOps. Sometimes people think it means like the universe of software development, and other times it might mean just someone in a closet who like connects wires to the mainframe. What does DevOps mean to you?
To me, DevOps has two core components. There's a technological aspect and the collaboration aspect. On the technological side, it means a set of tools and processes that take code from a developer's computer through to a deployed production environment. So this includes things like source control, management, infrastructure, setup and management, continuous integration with tests and building artifacts, deployment patterns, observability once things are in the deployed environment, reacting to those the events that come out of the observability stack, I guess. And then the automations that tie all of those components together. And then on the collaboration side, it means developers and operations working together. So you can imagine like a Venn diagram where one circle is dev and one circle is ops, and the overlap is DevOps. And so the goal is to make that overlap as big as possible. So this means developers moving towards understanding their infrastructure and good infrastructure as code patterns and things like that. This means the operations side working towards good software engineering patterns and practices. And so as for us as a consulting firm, one of the things that we can offer is the ability to really facilitate a good DevOps environment and build and manage better products through that technology and collaboration.
Can I give what I think the answer for DevOps means?
Yeah.
So I think DevOps is a goal and an area in which it can operate towards that goal. The goal is making it as quick as possible to release code, to get code moved from essentially a developer's idea all the way out into production. And while that's application developers' goals as well, DevOps is all the tooling that goes into that outside of the actual code itself. And
Right.
I would say I would also say outside of the project management tooling. But I know you might not agree with that. But you know what I mean? Like I think DevOps is about a goal. It's about the rate of software development.
Right.
And the playground is the universe of stuff to do besides the literal code for the application and project management. Although it will integrate with project management capabilities. Right. I would say like PMs get to kind of like pull the triggers on what those are.
Right. It's like DevOps, just as the term, dev and ops, there's in order to do that, there has to be a migration on both sides of, the application developers kind of getting into and a little more familiar with the components that help facilitate their application.
That's a byproduct of the goal, not. I mean, do you understand what I mean by like that's a byproduct of the goal, but that's not necessarily like the goal itself. If you could show that someone could train a fleet of rats to respond to a whistle and it could somehow pick up the code and like FTP in and migrate it over or something like that, and that was done faster and cheaper than devs having this ability to do it themselves a little bit, like, then who cares? It's, to me, it's about what the goal and what you're trying to accomplish. It's not necessarily about the how, but of course, when you start letting developers, they can run they don't have to go through a big QE team or QA team to like see if their code's working, because they have really easy capability to write CI, CD, or CI, and they don't have to. There doesn't have to be a release master, because they can just be like, I'm just going to ship my code because it passes all its tests. I have a lot of confidence that it's working. If you have secrets to deploy, that they can configure their own secrets and things like that. That doesn't have to go through somebody else. That's what lowers improves the velocity of shipping code. So that's why you do the developer and operation. That's why they start to merge, and that's like in some ways the ultimate realization of the goal is developers doing their own operations.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like, I agree that's the goal. I'm not sure I agree that the goal itself is DevOps. I think DevOps is maybe a vehicle to drive towards that goal.
Yeah, you think DevOps literally means the combination of ops, like you mean it is the approach as well. It includes the approach.
It is, yeah, I think it's more the approach than the goal itself.
That's too bad. I think that's fine, but I think that's a good. I think it's
like take the rat example. Yeah. Blow a whistle and rats can deploy code and stuff like that. Like that's another vehicle.
Piper of right, operations.
Right, like that's another vehicle to go towards the goal. But I don't know that I'd call it DevOps. It'd be like mouse ops or dev mouse.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's
okay. That's an interesting distinction that helps me frame it a little bit better. It's odd that it doesn't include typically it's nice to have practices that understand the goal, and they will do whatever it takes to accomplish that goal. And when you sneak in a solution, which DevOps sounds like it's a solution, you get potentially not best fit solutions.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it would be a bad idea to try to drive the vehicle without having your goal in mind. Like you need to keep that goal, keep your destination and your GPS or whatever for the vehicle analogy. Like you still need to make sure that's a core part of what you're trying to do. Like why do you get into?
But then you invent a helicopter or a space shuttle, and then it takes you there faster.
If we could do, yeah.
But then might not be DevOps. It might not be developers doing their operations. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It might be. So it's like calling it car. What does cars mean to you?
Right.